Tony, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess the question on everyone's lips, and we won't put you in a tough situation, but no one amongst 11,000 people thought that was a red card. What was your thoughts on where the game is at to rule as harshly as that red card?
Yeah, I think you've got to look at probably every rugby player who's ever played the game is looking at that and saying it's not a red card. So I think I'm with Michael Cheika. I think we need the referee in here answering these questions because he's the only one in the world who thought that was a red card.
For the punters here who've turned up for the last game of the season to see a very good attacking Sunwolves team and to see the contest destroyed like that, it's very frustrating for all.
Oh, it's really frustrating for us. You know, it's 2 weeks in a row, and you know, both occasions just really weak red cards at best, and then you know, like you say, they're in the first half, so they ruin the game, ruin the contest, and you know, it feels as though when I'm watching the games, I'm grabbing my toes. It's a tough old watch.
It's almost a trend in the game that it's being micro-refereed, a little bit overly harsh penalties. Are you worried about what's happening with the refereeing?
Oh, 100%. It's every coach who's had a press conference over the last, I guess, 6 weeks are going, what are we doing? Where's the game going? And why is this happening? Why are the referees having such a control over the game where everyone who's watching's going, they don't agree? Like, it's just got bizarre, and the referees almost looking to promote themselves by being in the media. You know, being the guy that does it. I've got no other option. It's a load of crap. No other option. Who's? Well, that's just, it's embarrassing.
Tony, you watch a bit of rugby league with their report system. Do you think that's an option where you do have you think there's something there? Should there be another day to red and yellow and okay, we'll look at it after the game, don't ruin the game? If there's something there, we'll find.
Yeah, I think in the future that's got to be the way that they look at it. There needs to be change, you know, where the game's gone the last 6 weeks is, you know, it's pretty embarrassing for rugby.
Really, what's in your mind, mate? Like, you think very much the same?
Yeah, it's tough. Like, being on the field, you do all the preparation, all the hard work, and something like that happens, you know, and it just spoils the game, like Tony said. So it's tough for the players to see. Like, Quirky was tying his boot, and the guy tapped him on the shoulder and gave him a red card. You know, it's like, what's going on? So I think just from players' perspective, it's tough. And you see other incidents happen on the field. We feel worse, but nothing happens about that, you know. So it's just hard. It's hard on the players.
Do you know what you should do and what you can't do anymore?
Yeah, I think.
Or is it just like luck of the draw?
Yeah, I think I've spoken to a lot of old players as well. Like, the game's gone soft. You know, you make a good proper hit and you get a red card for it. You know, just like it's not what it was in the past. So I think it's just difficult for players. You want to bring that physicality, you want to stay in the laws, but just a little mistake here, a little mistake there, and the law just cracks you. So I think it's just
the rugby's so dynamic, and there's so many different bodies going so many different directions that there's going to be contact with the, you know, in places that's not meant to be contact, but that doesn't mean that I'm trying to punch someone in the head, and you know, that's just an accident, and that's what happens in rugby. But the boy got a yellow card in the second half. That guy's trying to kill a guy on the ground with his head and his shoulder, and so for me that's quite a dangerous thing. Not the poor guy who had his hand on the guy's face, but his fist was closed. He wasn't trying to punch him. That's not a punch. That's him going into contact, protecting himself. That's, you know, it's, what are we doing? This is embarrassing.
Tony, looking at the season and the progress of the Sunwolves, I guess especially the second half of the season, 3 wins. Yeah, what would have been most upbeat about the second half of the season, what boys being able to put together?
Yeah, I think for me as a coach, you know, I've been really proud of how our guys have come in and, I think we've created a real high-performance environment in Japan that not only Japanese players can get involved in, but guys who can't quite make it in Super Rugby around the world can come to Japan and get opportunities to enter into a real high-performance environment where they can improve their rugby and play against some of the best players in the world. And hopefully in the future we can really compete against those teams and challenge for the Super Rugby title.
Do you think there's a future model, perhaps, or are the Sunwolves the future model, or do they take a back seat and Suntory come in as the Japanese team, or is that something that needs to be debated?
Oh, I'm not sure. That's not my pay grade. I'm just here to coach the team and coach it as well as I can and try and get the best out of the players, and whatever happens along those things. But I definitely know that there's definitely space for a Japanese team, because if you give us more time and you give us an even playing field around preparation, and the referees actually help us out every now and then we're going to be a good team.
Willie, what's the feeling amongst the boys? You're a League of Nations in a lot of ways with South Africans and Kiwis, Aussies, very good Japanese players. Well, what's the feeling about what the Sunwolves stand for?
For me, it's just amazing. Bringing all those countries, all those nationalities together. Great coaching, great management, great players, great. I think the things about Sunwolves is really good people. And that shows on and off the field. The way they work for each other. It's literally your family away from your family, because everyone leaves their countries to join up with the Sunwolves in Japan, and we become a family. I think we've shown that during the last 3 years, and that's the one thing we mainly stand for is just being that family, being there for each other, and being competitive. I think we showed that during the season as well. We really can be competitive, and we left our mark this year. So it's definitely good for us to build for the future as well, and just keep on going.
What sort of extra support do you think the Sunwolves need to perhaps find that little bit of extra edge? It seems like the attack's sorted out. What sort of extra resources do you think the team needs?
I'm not sure. I'm just captaining the side and playing my heart out. So.
Tony, amongst the Japanese players in the team, who have you been particularly happy with their acceleration and progress?
I think there's a couple first-year Super Rugby players, and Nagare, our halfback, also co-captained the team with Britzy. Quality rugby player, and one of the better halfbacks in the competition. And then Himeno, our sort of number 8/ lock, who's just unstoppable with the ball in hand, and he creates so much momentum, and he's only first year out of university, so I think he's definitely really capable of performing at a high level at Super Rugby.
See him tracking into the World Cup next year?
Oh yeah, 100%. He's one of our key players already, and from the June tests and even last November against France, and Tonga played outstanding rugby, and he's had a massive year. He's been going 12 months, probably longer, and hasn't had a break, and he's still playing really good rugby, so he needs a bit of a break and needs to get refresh and get back into top league, and then get ready for November tour.
What do you think the benefits for Japan will be out of this Sunwolves program going forward this next?
Yeah, massive benefits. Those two guys are an example. And there's a lot of foreigners becoming available for Japan as well. Willie here is available. So we're getting guys who are getting tested against the best players in the world, and we're measuring them to see if they are going to be eligible for the World Cup. And so it's a massive advantage for Japan Rugby to have the Sunwolves in Super Rugby.
And when do you become available with?
Hopefully end of this year.
Like December?
November test.
Tour
Yeah.
Or not?
Yeah.
So far. The tour or halfway through?
August, yeah.
What are your feelings about representing Japan and got the taste?
That'll be amazing. Like I said, it's Japan is an amazing country. Awesome people. The culture is phenomenal, and the respect they have for other people, and to be part of something like that and represent that country will be a massive honour.
So Willie, with that these are all questions we don't know, but you speak Japanese fluently or halfway there?
It's a very difficult language, I must say. But yeah, you can help yourself out going order some food at a restaurant or a bit of banter with the boys. So we still got our classes once a week when we're back with our clubs. So trying studying hard on that to get better.
We've got to get him a Japanese wife. Then he'll learn Japanese.
Billy, what do you see yourself, the Japanese impact for the World Cup, how the national team can perform?
Yeah, I think they've shown it during Super Rugby, and the few tests they've played last year and this year, like France, all those teams, they played unbelievable footy. I think it all started with that win in the World Cup against South Africa, and it's just been growing after that. So they really, it's a team to be not thrown aside anymore. It's really a competitive team. Like I said, Brownie and Jamie's been doing great work with them. And yeah, I think it's really going to be an amazing World Cup for them. They're working really hard. Just the work rate of the players, always trying to be better and improving every day, doing extras and all that. So they're really working hard for being to be the best.
Billy, is there any Japanese player particularly that you different to Tony's nominations out of the Sunwolves this year who you've really admired? In the top 5 has really stepped up amongst the Japanese sport?
Yeah, I think like all the old names are still there, like Shotohori and all those players are playing amazing rugby. Same like him with Himano and Tokunaga. He's also a very, very good player, hard worker. Shun Nunumaki, another loose forward. Yeah, it's just a hard player, always strong on the ball. And you get guys in the back line like Bidi, Nakamura. Also very, very good. Young guys coming, Noguchi and Ricky. Young players coming through. It's really something for the future. So I think they've showed what they've got in Super Rugby so far, and definitely something to watch for in the future.
Okay, that's great.
Tony, is there going to be another Springboks result in the World Cup?
Oh, I hope so. You know, we've got some tough teams. Scotland are playing some amazing rugby, so are Ireland, obviously, and Samoa are going to be a tough challenge as well. But I know that if we get our game right and we get our preparation right and the players perform to their best, then we can beat anyone in the world. So that's our plan, and that's what we'll try and do. And the style of our game is different to anyone else in the world, and if on the day it comes off, it's going to be pretty exciting.
I mean, you didn't take a kick for the line for many penalties tonight, so it's just constant movement. Is that the secret for you guys?
Yeah, I think so. I think our strength is definitely keeping the ball in play and playing at speed. We don't want to take the big European teams on at line out time or scrum time. Keep the game fast, keep it unstructured, keep the ball in play, and back our skills and back our fitness. And that's, for me, that's the best rugby to watch. It's not the scrum, the maul, and the line out.